Good afternoon, Hawks family from Vaughan Grove Park in Vaughan, Ontario. Welcome to some OCAA playoff action. It's winner go home as your number one ranked Humber Hawks, undefeated at 10-0 in the regular season, begin their postseason campaign against the number 8 seed from the East, the St. Lawrence Surge. Perfection. Literally 10 wins, 0 losses, one of only 4 teams in the entire OCAA to do so. And let's not forget, your men's Humber Hawks team are reigning national and provincial champions. We're chasing our 17th OCAA title in program history. Last time here at home, your Hawks managed a crucial 1-0 victory against a very well coached and organized Conestoga team with Isaiah Noel, who was able to put the Hawks on his back, coming up with some great defensive plays and scoring the winning goal just after the start of the second half. This is a Humber side that just back in September demolished Lambton 10-0. This team's disciplined, super defensively sound, and they know how to close out very close games. Today, your Hawks will be looking to carry that momentum into the playoffs as they begin their quest for gold. For the St. Lawrence team, it's the heart, it's the pride, and it's the ultimate trying to pull off the ultimate upset. They've had a tough season, but once playoffs comes around, it's a clean slate for both teams. One mistake can be the ultimate difference maker. We're just moments away from kickoff here. And the whistle sounds, and we're underway here in the first half of the Humber Hawks between the St. Lawrence Surge. Ball's played back to keeper Sané, who kept a clean sheet last time here at home against Conestoga in that crucial 1-0 victory. Well, with the pass through the middle to Mella, as it's Pinto who drives wide, looking to cross that ball and does so. And that's just past the reach of number 11, Tariq Joseph. Humber have a throw-in here in St. Lawrence territory. Good ball played out wide to Pinto. Looks to play one-on-one with the defender, gets by him, crosses that ball in. Keeper makes a mistake, and the Surge are just able to clear that ball, but not far, as Smith looks to whip that ball in, just over the head of everybody. Some early shaky moments for Luka Abatroff, the Surge goalkeeper. As advantage is played there, Humber looked to play a ball in, and it's Mel with a shot, and it just hits the outside post. A great start here for Humber. Here's a replay of that last shot. Mel looking to slot it in. Keeper's side. Gets it by the keeper, but doesn't get it by the goalpost, as it stays a 0-0 game. 2 minutes in, Humber are looking to capitalize on the Surge mistakes. Their back line, of course, will be captained by senior Isaiah Noel, who in that game against Conestoga came up with some huge defensive plays and got on the end of one, scoring that game winner early on, as Smith does well to evade both defenders. As DeGrasse will look to carry this ball on for the Surge. Marcus Riviere does super well to track back. Good ball over to Marcus Riviere, but it's just out of reach. Poor kick by Abatroff, and it'll be a Humber throw in here on the far side. Mella does well to keep possession there for Humber, as the Humber look to surge early on in the first half. Foul there on Mella, but the referee waves advantage to Humber here. Ball's passed out wide to Pinto. He looks to whip that ball in. Clearance by a surge defender. Mella still on the ground from that previous foul where the advantage did play advantage. But Mella looks to get an extra couple seconds here as he's still on the ground. As play will resume here with Isaiah Noel. Not only being such a focal point of that Humber defense, but their offense as well. As Mella looks to go one-on-one with the defender. Does well to get by him. Gets by another. As Humber will pass it back to Noel and try to reset possession here. Pinto out wide here, looking across that ball in. Finds a man inside. And it's going to be Michael Crocco with Humber's first goal of the game. Beautifully done by Humber. It was Pinto coming inside in the penalty box. Laid that ball off. Slotted in beautifully by Crocco. And 7 minutes into this match, Humber have a 1-0 lead against the St. Lawrence Surge. Here's a quick replay. Pinto coming inside. Lays that ball off, and it's Crocco with a smart low finish to get past the keeper, Abatroff. Cleverly defended by Pinto on that right side. Humber will have a throw in here. This Humber team offensively ranked 4th in the league in goals scored and 2nd in assists with 21 as Pinto once again drives in wide. Looks to cross it in here. Looking for Mel on that far side. Ball comes out to Liscano. As Humber will look to keep possession here deep in the Surge territory. It's Liscano pressing well there, making St. Louis out of the surge side to get him out of play, as Humber will regain possession here. Still early on in the first half. Humber with a huge first couple chances in the first couple minutes of today's game. One coming off the post by Mella. But when Crocco had the chance, he made no mistake and slotted that one right past the keeper. Noel trying to switch play there with the ball to Pinto. But it's just out of his reach, and it'll be a surge throw in here on the near side. Mello looking for a teammate to pass it to. Decides to drive it in himself. Crosses it. Crocco with another chance, and he scores! And it's Michael Crocco with Humber's second goal of the game. A beautiful finish past the diving surge keeper. And 10 minutes into this match, your undefeated Humber Hawks have a 2-0 lead. Here's another replay at that goal. Crocco with not much time takes one touch, slots it right past the keeper, almost the same spot as his first goal. And 10 minutes into this match, Humber have a commanding lead here. Between the posts for Humber today, Daniel Sané. He kept the Hawks pretty steady throughout the season, recording 20 saves across the entirety of the regular season. It's a good win from Pinto in the back as Humber looks to counter on here. One back by Kennedy. Ball's whipped in. Good job by Fiore to clear that ball for Humber. Ball's played into the feet of Cabral as he looks to pass it out wide. Foul there by Crocco. Will give the Surge a free kick inside Humber territory. It'll be Keller trying to play this ball in. With Humber leading 2-0 early, the Surge want to cut this deficit in half as quickly as possible, giving themselves a chance. Ball's whipped in by Keller. Cleared just outside the Humber penalty box. Foul committed there by Joseph. And it'll be a free kick in what's a pretty dangerous position here for Humber. It'll be interesting to see if the Surge try to bend one in the corner past Sané, or whether they'll try to look to cross the ball in, hopefully a head can get on the end of that. Ball's whipped in, punched out by Sané. Shot there by Caleb Keller, but right to the hands of Sané. And Humber will look to regroup here. Humber with another undefeated season in OCAA regular season action. Ball's played out to Smith, who looks for a Humber teammate to passes it to Riviere. Back to Pinto, off the defender and off the crossbar. How did that ball not go in? Serge with another lucky break, as that's the second ball today to hit off the woodwork. And Serge hang on to this 2-0 lead, but just by a single thread. Ball's going to be thrown in here by Kennedy on the far side. Good clearance there by Fiore. The one time by DeGrasse sails over everybody's head, and it'll be a Humber goal kick. Like we've seen all year, Noel just driving up with the ball. Such a vocal part of this Humber offense, even as a defender. As DeGrasse looks to carry that ball for Serge. Well done by Joseph to win that ball back for Humber. Tried to play that ball in behind Olufemi, but he does well. And it'll be a Humber throw-in inside their own half. A little bit of miscommunication there. Will have the Surge regain possession inside their own half. Ball's laid off to St. Louis, who looked to time his run, but the linesman will call him offside for the Surge's first offside of the game. Humber will regain possession here inside their own half. Well done by Crocco there, who plays the ball off. Smith with a little fall inside the penalty box. Fiore fouled there, asking the linesman to blow the whistle. Advantage was played. It'll be Abatroff with a free kick here. Peoria does well to win that ball back. As Smith looks like for a teammate to pass it to. Decides to switch that ball on to Joseph. Joseph dances around the defender. It'll be good enough for a Humber throw-in. That ball's lost, last touch there by Joseph, and it'll be a surge goal kick here. "20 minutes in, Humber have scored twice, and they've also hit the woodwork twice. One coming inside the first 2 minutes of the match, with Mella hitting the outside bar. And it'll be Pinto looking to whip that ball inside. Eludes to pass it back to Lascano. As Smith plays that ball on to Pinto. Pinto with the ball inside the middle. Shot there outside the penalty box by Adrian Anthony. Will go wide, and the Surge will have a goal kick. This Humber team this year undefeated. Although they may not be as offensively dynamic as teams in years past, defensively, like I've mentioned before, they tied with Conestoga for the fewest goals conceded, and they led the OCAA with 7 shutouts. As this team looks to keep another clean sheet here. And a clever touch there by Pinto, as he looks for Riviere to pass it on to, back to Pinto, and it'll just be out of his reach. And the Surge will look to counter here as Smith presses Broderick. And it was Broderick with a nasty shot on Smith after that play. Referee didn't see it. Smith is gonna go tell the linesman about the elbow. The elbow came in late after the play, with both players clearly frustrated. Here's a quick look at that replay. Clearly holding on to Smith there. Then after the fact with a nasty elbow to the back of Smith. Referee didn't see it. Lucky for the Surge player, that would have been a yellow card right away. As it's the first yellow of the game, and it looks like it'll go to number 6 of the St. Lawrence Surge, Andrew Kennedy. And Humber will have a free kick here in a position to whip that ball inside the penalty box, hoping a Hawk teammate can come in and slot that ball in. Mella and Noel discussing things over here. Wondering where they would like to place the ball. It looks like it'll be Noel who gets on the end of this free kick. And he looks to drive that ball. Looks like he was attempting to shoot there. Ball doesn't go that far outside. With a 2-0 lead here, Humber do have the opportunity to try and take risks just like the one Noel just took. Header there by Mella as Riviere took a heavy touch. Well played by Fiore there as the Surge were looking to counter. Didn't allow Broderick to turn around and gain space. As Humber looked to drive this ball here, Mel on the far right-hand side, dancing with the defender, gets past him, goalie comes in, and it's Riviere who has Humber's third goal of the match. Mella did well to evade the two defenders and the goalie. Marcus Riviere has his first of the match. An incredible run and piece of skill by Franz Mella. Here's a quick replay at that goal. Mella dancing with the defender, gets by him, keeper comes in, stops, shoots that ball that hits off the defender in. There to clean it up like he's been doing all year. It was Marcus Riviere who has his first of the match. And 25 minutes in, Humber lead with a commanding lead, 3-0 here. Ball's played on to Pinto. Good save there by the keeper as the flag wasn't raised, looked offside. Play on, says the ref. As there'll be a clever foul there by, I believe, Mateus Lascano. The Surge looked to counter there. It was 3-on-2. Lascano with a smart tackle there to stop that play. Ball's whipped in, far side. Trying to get on the end of that is Cabral, but Smith does well. But loses the ball deep inside Humber territory. It was Lascano with his defensive efforts, not allowing that ball to get inside the Humber penalty box. As Mello looks to keep this ball in play, but it'll just be out of reach for a Surge throw in here on the near side. Well, clears that ball, but only as far as Powers. Well done by Joseph as he plays that ball onto Mella. Riviere's all alone in the middle. Smith with time and space. Gets past one defender, but doesn't get past the other. And the Surge will look to counter here. As a clever header there by Lascano. He's all over the pitch today. Will allow Humber to regain possession inside their own half. And it's Tariq Joseph with a little bit of a heated moment there. It was Anthony who had to actually calm him down. Tariq Joseph with some, I'm sure, kind words to Caleb Powers. It was a good ball there by Fiore, but Joseph didn't time his run. As Riviere looks to play that ball on to Mella. Serge asking for the offside, won't get one. It'll be an early substitution here for the St. Lawrence Surge. It'll be Maddox St. Louis coming off for the St. Lawrence Surge, and coming in, looks like it'll be Nicholas Marine Calais. Surge with an early substitution here in the game, trying to cut that Humber deficit. Pinto looks to drive past the defender. Defender does well to keep him in his place. Plays that ball onto Riviere, who'll play that back to Fiore. Ball's played out wide, back to Riviere. Riviere gets past one defender, gets past the other. He's looking to whip that ball in. Joseph tried to get on the end of that one, but it was just out of reach. Humber will keep possession here. That constant pressure creating problems for that Surge back line, as that's a missed pass by Anthony. As that ball will go out of wide for a Surge throw-in. Noel looks to carry this ball forward for Humber. Clever pass on the right flank, as Joseph will play that ball onto Mella. Mella will lay that back to the overlapping Joseph. Powers did well to defend that. Ball still in play there. As the referee has a word with Joseph here. It's not his first heated interaction of the match. Of course, just earlier on, his teammate Adrian Anthony had to hold him back. As Humber will make a substitution here, so will the Surge. Coming out for the Surge will be Cabral. And coming in for the Surge will be Nathan Collegio. Looking to solidify that Surge back line that, as we've seen already in the first half, has looked shaky. Noel with a good clearance there, evading any Surge pressure. as the referee will call back that play on that Anthony foul, and Humber will have a free kick in their own half. So it'll be Tariq Joseph coming out of the game. The Humber coaching staff looking to calm him down a little bit. Coming in for the Hawks will be number 14, Cisco Thomas. Riviere lays that ball back off to Noel, who plays that ball to Fiore. Riviere looking for a Hawk teammate to pass it to as Humber try to build out from the back. Anthony with that overlapping run, but Crocco decides to lay it back to his Humber teammates. Surge not pressing much here, looking to see what Humber does with the ball. As Riviere tries to win that ball dangerously in Surge territory, Humber will regain possession here. Ball's played out to the right flank for Thomas, who lays that ball into the feet of Crocco. That ball's played inside to Pinto, who passes that ball back to Thomas. And your Humber Hawks with a 4-0 lead inside the first 36 minutes of the match. It was a beautiful back heel pass from Pinto, who laid that ball back beautifully to Thomas, who made no mistake with the opportunity he got. Might be his first touch of the game that ultimately leads to a Humber goal. And like Humber wanted to do, they wanted to create themselves a commanding lead heading into the second half, and they did so. Here's another look at that goal. Crocco looked fouled there. Pinto laid that ball back beautifully to Thomas, who again made no mistake. Slots that ball in for Humber's 4th goal. As Humber looked to add another one here with Riviere dancing. Beautiful outside foot pass to Mella, who was unable to time his run. If Mella was able to time his run there, that might have been assist of the year from Riviere with that outside foot pass. Mistake in Humber's half gives the Surge the ball in Humber territory, as Humber will look to clear this ball out of danger. As Pinto looked like he had the run there, his Humber teammate decided not to pass it to him, pass it back to one of his center back partners, as Humber will look to reset here. That ball's played on to Pinto, who's then fouled just outside of the penalty box. It'll be a yellow card for number 23, Davidson Olufemi. He's lucky to just get away with a yellow card there, as Humber now have a free kick in a very dangerous position. We've seen both Pinto and Mella with amazing free kick goals this season. Mella last time here at home had a free kick hit just off the woodwork. Would have been, in my opinion, goal of the season. It'll be interesting to see whether it's Pinto or Mella taking this free kick. And it's Mella on that one with the left foot. Knows he rushed it. And that free kick goes wide for a goal kick. Five minutes plus any additional stoppage time left in the first half. If you're just joining us now, Humber with a commanding 4-0 victory, looking to add on to it here with Riviere outside the penalty box. Surge defender did well. Smith passes that ball out wide to Pinto, who's looking to dance here with Olufemi. Pinto looks to whip it in here, crosses that ball. And on the other end of that is none other than Mella. And with 5 minutes left to go in the first half, Humber take a commanding 5-0 lead. Mella, who already hit the woodwork today, wanted to get on the right end of the other one. Here's another replay look at his goal. Pinto dancing with Olufemi, whips that ball in. And in perfect position to slot that ball in is number 10, Franz Mella. We did say it would be an absolute upset here if St. Lawrence were to win this game. Still plenty of time left in today's match, but it doesn't look like it'll happen. With Humber already slotting 5 here. And not giving Surge really many chances. Sané hasn't been troubled yet today. Good turn there by Thomas to get that ball into Riviere. Thomas with the overlapping run. Dancing here with Olufemi. Olufemi does well, one-on-one with Thomas, as the Surge will look to counter now. And a foul there by Fiore. Will give the Surge a free kick here on the near side. As it was captain on captain there, as captaining today's game for Humber is Carmine Fiore, and captaining the game for the St. Lawrence Surge is Aiden Broderick. Keller looking to whip something inside the Humber penalty box. Noel misses the header. One-time shot there by DeGrasse. Doesn't trouble Sané. And Sané will look with a beautiful drop kick pass to Mella. Mella with good pressure there on the goalkeeper, who just manages to get a pass by him. Even with one or two forwards on Noel, he never looks like he's pressured, very rarely making any mistakes. Well done there by Fiore to win that ball, as it's Mello who will pass that on the left-hand side to Thomas. Thomas looking to whip that ball into Riviere. Mello with clever dancing there, as Abatroff makes a nice one-legged save, but it'll be a Humber corner kick. Here's another look at that save by Abatroff. Mello tried to slot that ball low past him. And it'll be a free kick here for Humber. Excuse me, a corner kick here for Humber. And that ball's whipped. Mello takes the touch, alludes to shoot. Not the best of shots by Mello. And that ball will go wide for a surge goal kick. And as regular time finishes up here, we'll have 1 additional minute added on. I thought with the 5 Humber goals in the first half, we might have 2 or 3. Humber all business here in the first half. Getting on the scoreboard early. Hitting the woodwork within the first 2 minutes of the match. And what's been a complete dominance for your undefeated men's Humber Hawks team here today in beautiful Vaughan, Ontario. And the referee whistles for the end of the first half. Complete domination here by your undefeated men's Humber Hawks team. They were the ones carrying that momentum here today. Coming into this match, they knew that they had to take care of business early. And to say the least, with 5 goals slotted past the surge goalkeeper, they'll look to continue that dominance in the second half. Don't go anywhere, folks. In just a few minutes here, we'll have some second half action for some OCAA men's playoff soccer. And welcome back, folks, here for some OCAA second half playoff action. And if you missed it, in the first half, your Hawks took a very commanding 5-0 lead. 2 goals early by Michael Crocco. And since the first second of kickoff in the first half, it's been all Humber here in Vaughan Grove. As we're just moments away here from the start of the second half. It'll be the Surge starting the kickoff, as they will be playing right to left on your screen, and Humber will be playing left to right. Early foul there will give the Surge a free kick inside the Humber half. Your Hawks 2-0 all time against the St. Lawrence Surge. Both wins coming in OCAA playoff action. First time Humber beating St. Lawrence was in 1976. Last time these two teams played, 1993. I wanted to give a quick mention and thank you to Fernando for providing me those halftime statistics. As the Surge will have a free kick in dangerous territory, looking to slowly chip away into that 5-0 Humber lead. It'll be Xavier Sepe looking to whip that ball inside. Miss kick will give it straight to the Humber goalkeeper. As Obatroff comes far outside his crease here, just to clear that ball near the halfway line. As Fiore will look to calm things down here. With a 5-0 lead, it looks like Humber Hawks senior Isaiah Noel was substituted in the first half. Humber with that 5-0 lead gives them the leniency to do so, as that ball is played cleverly onto Crocco, but it'll just go outside of reach for him, straight into the hands of goalkeeper number 31, Luka Abatroff. As Crocco believing that should be Humber ball, but instead it'll be a Surge throw in here on the near side. With good pressure there from Smith, making Surge defender Kennedy retreat there. Another foul here by the Hawks inside their own half. That ball's whipped inside to the Humber penalty box. As the Hawk goalkeeper slips and falls, but that ball will fall straight to Mella. Mella with a little bit of a different look here today, rocking that blonde hair. Already slotted one past the Surge goalkeeper for his first of the day. Ball's played back to Mella, who will look for the run of Yasaka. Yasaka not starting today's game, and it'll be Mella who cuts inside, tried to feed that ball behind the defense to Krocko. Good composure there by Fiore. As it was Sepe who was pressuring him. And that ball's last touched off Pinto. Good enough for a surge goal kick here early on. First 5 minutes of the second half. Good ball played onto Yasaka, who evades his defender. Smith on his other side, and Smith with an easy finish. Ball's played from Yasaka onto Smith. Smith makes no mistake about that one. Humber lead this game 6-0. As Yasaka did well to get away from the defender, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, eludes to pass it on to Smith, who had the easiest finish of the match thus far. Here's another look at that goal. Yasaka away from the defender. Smith with that overlapping run slots that in home. And 51 minutes into this match, Humber have a commanding 6-0 lead here, as they'll look to add on what's already been a very dominant performance here today. As Smith reads that ball well, plays it on to Mella. Mella will dance with the defender, cuts inside, plays that ball on to Krocko, who with his third of the day, Michael Krocko slots that ball past the surge goalkeeper. And Humber with a commanding 7-0 lead here. It was a beautiful finish by Krocko, who gets his third of the day. All 3 goals coming in the low side. Krocko with just really smart placement on all 3 of those goals to get it out of the reach of the surge goalkeeper. Good tackle there by Krocko, but it'll be a throw-in for the surge on the near side. Hat-trick inside the first 51 minutes for Michael Krocko. Assisted on that goal for Krocko was Mella, who adds his second assist of the day, along to go with the 5th goal scored for Humber. Clever ball played there to Pinto as he looks to go one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And Pinto will score the 8th goal for the Humber Hawks, as he had 2 other teammates to pass it to, decides to do it all by himself, and with a clever finish. And his first of the match, Humber now lead this game 8-0. The surge look a little depleted here. Here's another look at that goal. Beautifully played onto Yasaka. Mello with the overlapping run. Surge goalkeeper comes out of his crease. And Pinto with a smart low shot to get that ball by him. Giving his first of the match and Humber's 8th. As the road to OCAA gold looks good here for Humber. Thomas tries to play that ball onto Smith. And that ball's played out wide to Van Hal, who looks to dance with Anthony here. Anthony does well to stay his ground. Clever ball there onto Yasaka. As it's Krocko with the overlapping run, Yasaka decides to lay that off to Krocko, who cleverly slots that past the Surge goalkeeper for his 4th of the day. Humber's 9th. And what a start here for Humber in the second half. As 3 goals within the first 16 minutes from kickoff. Humber takes a commanding 9-0 lead here. Krocko with his 4th goal of the game will come off here for Humber. Here's another look at Krocko's 4th goal. Yasaka waits for the defender to bite, cleverly plays that ball onto Krocko. And with a clever finish. I just received confirmation that Krocko is the first Humber player to score 4 goals in a playoff match. An incredible display of finishing and excellence by Krocko today. As Yasaka's shoved in from behind, and it'll be a Humber free kick inside their own half. Anthony plays that on to leading goal scorer Condoloresi, who plays that ball onto Yasaka. And it's just absolute mayhem here. As Yasaka, I believe, slots his 1st of the day. And Humber take an even bigger lead in this match. Humber all business here today at home. The Surge now having that extra 5th defender on the back line. Trying to keep this score line to a minimal. It's already 10-0 here for Humber. Humber's biggest win of the season, of course, coming in what I believe was the opening match of the season. Against Lambton, they won 10-0. Clever ball here to Mella. as he looks one-on-one with a goalkeeper. Clever move to get around him. Plays around with the defender, and he gets his second of the match. Calm, cool, and collective was Mella. And 60 minutes in, it's absolute demolition here at Falk Grove Park. Humber take a commanding 11-0 lead. Such composure from Mella on that goal. Waited to see what the keeper's first move was going to be. Dropped him. Defender came running across. He dropped the other defender. Slots that ball in for his second of the match. Here's a quick replay of the last two goals here. You see Condoloresi running on the outside of the box. Plays that ball into Yasaka with a clever finish. And here's another look at that Mella goal. Moves, waits, easy. 11-0 Humber. As Humber look to score their 12th just now. Well defended there by the Surge, but the Hawks will have a corner kick. Humber looking today to beat their record of goals scored in a single game. Last year, they netted 13 past Mohawk. With 29 minutes to go here in the second half, they have the time to try and outright beat that record. As Yasaka will spend some time here fixing his shoe. Substitution here for the St. Lawrence Surge. It'll be number 4, Ben Tassone coming in. And coming out for the St. Lawrence Surge will be number 20, Caleb Powers. As Mello with a clever ball there to Pinto, who looks onside. Candeloresi running across him. Goalkeeper makes a smart save there. Mello with a clever ball behind the defender. Condoloresi looks to dance around. Beautiful move. Waits, passes that ball, but it'll come off Ben Tassone, who just substituted into the match for another Humber corner kick. I might be biting my words here, as I did say this year's Humber Hawks team maybe as defensively sound as years previously, but definitely not as offensively dynamic. They're looking to beat that scoring record in a single match here today, with 11 already netted within the first 65 minutes of the match. As there'll be a Hawks substitution here. Mello with a fantastic day already, 2 goals, 2 assists. Coming on for Mello will be Hawk forward Marcus Riviere. Well defended there by Cologio for a Humber throw-in. Surge looked to counter here. Humber making sure bodies get back. Riviere with good pressure there, does get called on the foul. Mills whips in a free kick. That's cleared out by the Humber defender. Yasaka tries to head that ball onto Condoloresi and will successfully do so, as Humber will have a throw in here on the near side. Ball's laid back to Wosal. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Vaughan, Ontario. A foul is going to be called here in the middle of the pitch on Fiore. What's even better than the weather today is the Humber Hawks scoreline for today's match. And with 22 minutes still left in today's match, with any additional stoppage time, Humber have a commanding 11-0 lead. Slotted 5 in the first 45, and then proceeded to slot another 6. Still early on here in the second half as Yasaka looks to run with that ball down the flank. Leaves that ball back to Riviere, who looks to pass it on to a teammate. Humber will reset here, keep possession. The Hawks, even with that 11-0 lead, forwards are maintaining that high press, always continuously challenging those ball carriers for the Surge as that ball is played on the right-hand flank to Riviere, who looks to whip that ball in. A little bit of a juggle by the new Surge goalkeeper. As Riviere did well to whip that ball inside. Little bit of a spill by the Surge goalkeeper. As Vital tried to play that ball onto Condoloresi, but it's just out of reach. And he'll go for another Surge kick here. Ball well played onto the feet of Keller, who looks to spin and shoot. Surge support, yelling for that handball. Ball will be played perfectly to Yasaka, who's one-on-one with the defender. He waits for more Hawks teammates to come forward. As Condolaresi's fouled just outside the penalty box for another dangerous position here for your Humber Hawks, who look to slot a dozen past the St. Lawrence Surge today. And it looks like it'll be either Yasaka or Condolaresi on the end of this free kick. Surge with the four-man wall. Yasaka with the left foot might have a better position to try and shoot this ball in and curl it into a top corner. But it'll be Condolaresi with a shot, and that ball off the bar. Does it cross the line? And it does. A beautiful goal, a beautiful free kick by number 24, Cristiano Condolaresi. Surge goalkeeper dived high and wide, but it was just out of his reach. As Humber slots their 12th of the game with what might be the goal of the game by Cristiano Condolaresi. Here's another look at that beautiful free kick goal by Condolaresi. Looked like it was Yasaka who was teeing up. Condolaresi with a beautiful shot that hits off the woodwork but crosses the line. Here's another look. Ball's high enough to get over that wall and just past the diving Surge goalie. One more goal and Humber will tie their record for the most goals in a single match. Riviere does well to defend that pressure from Van Hall. Thomas with a smart ball. Keeper comes out of his crease. Well done by the Surge goalkeeper, who very early on decided to come outside of his crease onto that ball and steered away from any danger, keeping this game at 12-0 for your Humber Hawks. As it looks like we have a Hawk player down here. Isaiah Noel on the far side near the middle of the pitch, ready to get back into this game. Here's another look at that beautiful free kick in slow motion here. Candelaresi gets it beautifully over the wall, off the woodwork, and you can clearly see the entirety of the ball passing that line, giving Humber their 12th goal of the match. As it was Fiore on the ground there for Humber, he'll come off. Subbing in for him is number 4, Isaiah Noel. Very good defensive performance by Fiore, not giving any surge forwards any time or space to do anything with the ball offensively. As it'll be Yasaka on the right-hand side who will run onto this one, who leaves it on to Riviere, who will look to cross that ball inside. Ball's played on to Tariq Joseph, who mistouches the ball and will look for a Hawk teammate to pass it out to. As that ball's whipped inside, Yasaka fell. The ultimate decision will be a free kick here for the Surge. Well done there in the middle of the pitch by Woolhall to give back Humber possession of the ball here. That ball's played on the right-hand side to Anthony. Candelaresi with pressure on the goalkeeper will force a turnover here. As Thomas lays that ball back to Yasaka. Yasaka cuts in, shoots that ball, and it goes just wide. As Humber almost had their 13th there. Of course, 13 would tie Humber's record for the most goals in one game, slotting 13 past the Mohawks defense last season in the playoffs. Subbing in for the St. Lawrence Surge will be number 23, Davidson Olufemi. And coming out for the Surge will be number 3, Nathan Collegio. Good turn there by Thomas, who plays that ball onto Yasaka. Candelaresi with the run inside, but that ball's played straight into the feet of Mills, who will look to clear that ball for the Surge. That ball is played on to Thomas. Riviere arguing with the linesman that it was onside. Linesman had other thoughts, as Humber's called for just the 3rd offside of the game. Coming out of the game for Humber will be goal scorer Tyler Yasaka. And coming in for him will be another goal scorer with 2 here today. Franz Mella will substitute back in for your Humber Hawks. As that ball's played into the penalty zone for Mella with a clever touch over the defender. Quick shot, goalkeeper did well. Humber still with possession here deep in Surge territory as Riviere misplays that ball. The ball is thrown straight back into Riviere, who looks to dance with the defender, decides to pass that on to Mella, who decides to shoot that ball from distance straight at Mills. But it'll be Candelaresi with the ball, and he shoots. Keeper with a smart save there. Humber desperately trying to get that 13th goal. As Anthony's fouled there by Kennedy. And the referee will have some words for Kennedy as the ball is played quickly onto the feet of Joseph. Looking to dance one-on-one with the defender. Whips that pass inside, but it's cleared cleverly by the Surge defense. Candelaresi with a smart turn. Gets past Mills. Runs inside to the penalty box. Decides to shoot. Comes off the defender to Sone, but straight into the hands of the Surge goalkeeper. Misplaced pass by Mills will give Mella a one-on-one with the goalie here, as he had the entire right-hand side open. Excuse me, the left-hand side, decides to shoot to the goalie's right. Goalie with a smart save there, as Humber will play this corner short. Mello will dance inside the penalty box, decides to shoot. Gets past Kennedy, gets past the Surge goalkeeper, and Humber will tie their season record for most goals in a game with 13 here. We have another hat trick in the game by number 10, Franz Mella, to go along with the 4 goals scored earlier in this game. As the last touch of the goal, Mella with a clever dribbling there. And it was actually Alistair Johnson who was able to get on the end of that goal. So Mella with his 3rd assist of the day, hat trick and assist, still looking for that 3rd goal of the day. Clever back heel touch by Alistair Johnson. Ties the game record for most goals in a match by the Hawks with 13. Good save there by the Surge goalie. Had Mella all alone on the other side of him, but decides to shoot that. Good pressure there by Candelaresi. Surge goalie does well. As Candelaresi looked to get on the end of another one. Mella stopped by Kennedy, who will play that ball on the right flank side for the Surge. Well done by Alistair Johnson, who gets past one defender. And it was Cabral who's diving in. It looked like that ball last came off of Johnson, so it'll be a surge throw-in on the far side near the middle of the pitch. Mella with a clever pass to Candelaresi, who leaves it back on to Mella. And that ball will be kicked out of play. Quick Humber throw in here to Marcus Riviere. Backheel pass by Thomas will find the feet of a Surge defender as the Surge look to counter here. Only 3 Surge bodies forward as Wohal does well to track back, regain possession here for Humber. Cleverly dribbles past Keller with ease as Anthony will play that ball on to Thomas. Thomas dancing here on the right-hand side with Mills, alludes to cut in, back to Mella. Mella will play that ball back to Thomas. A little bit of a heavy pass by Mella as that ball was just out of the reach for number 14, Cisco Thomas, who's looking to score another one here for Humber. Humber will have 6 minutes plus any additional stoppage time to try and break their record here. What's been a dominant opening playoff performance for the team. As Thomas will dribble past Kennedy. Mills will foul him. Ball's played quickly. And just after that foul, Mella's quickly fouled just outside of the penalty box for a similar positioned free kick here. Interesting to see who will give a go on this one. We've seen Noel with his right foot take free kicks in this area. We've also seen Mella. Or will it be goal scorer from already a free kick here today? Will it be Cristiano Candelaresi who takes this one? Humber in a dangerous position here to score their 14th of the match. It looks like it'll be Noel on this one. He shoots that one low. Off a Surge defender. And that ball goes just wide for another Humber corner kick. That ball's whipped in by Candelaresi. Over the goalie's head. Just wide, almost scored there from that corner kick. Good ball there to Candelaresi, but it'll just be out of reach for him. Isaiah Noel with clever footwork there will play that ball onto Johnson, who passes that ball into middle to Thomas, who looks to play that ball on the right flank side to Riviere. Riviere dancing one-on-one with the defender. Woolhall with a shot outside of the box with a beautiful goal, and Humber will beat their record for most goals scored in a single match with 14. And with 14 goals, that will end today's match, it looks like. Woolhall with the final kick of today's game slots that in for Humber's record, his first of the match. And what a historic playoff opener for your Humber Hawks. Here's another look at that last-minute goal. Takes one touch, cleverly shoots that past the diving surge goalkeeper. And that's the full-time whistle. A historic playoff opener for your Humber Hawks, who stormed here today past St. Lawrence with a staggering 14-0 victory. That's right, folks. 14 goals today. Total dominance. A message sent to the entire province that the champs are looking to repeat. From back to front, Humber looked untouchable today. Very clinical in the final third. Locked down defensively when needed to, and showed exactly why they're one of the only undefeated teams in the OCAA. With the win here today, Humber looks to continue their quest for that 17th provincial title. They have a legacy already built on excellence, and tonight that reinforced what we all already believed. They're through to the next round, but they're just getting started. From all of us here at Vaughan Grove Park, technical director Nick, cameraman Joel, and as always, behind the mic, my name's Paul Sheh. Thank you for joining us for today's action. And as always, folks, drive safe.